Hello. Okay. All right. I figured I'd join you on stage and await the masses so you're not alone.
Very kind of you.
No one in Grape ever stands alone. We are the Liverpool of crypto. You'll never walk alone.
Oh, I thought it would be more like a Marvel thing, like Avengers Assemble.
Assemble.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I can't get behind the slogan. Every time I hear assemble, I'm thinking about machines and grease and oil and maybe, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's more Transformers, but well,
Yeah. Or Mechagodzilla.
no, that would be Power Rangers. What you're thinking of, where they put their huge mech together.
No, but it's the word fits the Mechagodzilla to assemble it, you know?
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm gonna age myself right now. Form Voltron.
Ah.
The fact I'm laughing makes me old too, so never mind.
If you get the reference,
Yeah.
you're in the right club. Grapes do come in bunches. That's right. Dynite posted something in live chat that was very astute.
I'm looking forward to the early morning Grumpy Dynite once he is in the US.
Oh, I've been waiting for that. You know, where hopefully there's no wine early in the morning. You know?
I just was thinking, I only know the late evening wine Dynite.
So I mean, we get to know the bitchy Dynite. Sounds fun.
I was waiting for the reaction. I'm like, oh, let's see. Is it gonna laugh? I don't think anything, Dynite. I'm not making any assumptions on your behalf. You shall decide and let me know. He chose poorly. For those that get the Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade reference. Cool. I think we've got a lot of people on the call now who've been listening to the shenanigans. Guess we're going to wait another minute.
Missing Taki.
Mm-hmm. Even though there may not be a definitive agenda, I think there are a couple of things we could talk about because there are a couple of things in realms right now. So
Yeah, well,
definitely.
I was about to say that.
Yep.
I kind of have like a concept for today's agenda, which will be Debadanu, which he on the last Sunday call he couldn't give his presentation to the DAO. I think he wanted to be a DAO member,
Mm-hmm.
so he was kind of booked for this one if he was attending, which he is not.
Mm-hmm.
So we can skip him for now.
Yep. And vacation, I think, was something that came up a few weeks ago, but the following DAO call that we had, I don't recall vacation being there, and I see vacation here today. And I think
The vacation was before that call, and
Yep.
he made his presentation. The DAO voted on him in, and that's how he got in.
Good.
Simple
Good.
as that.
I just wanted to acknowledge it and welcome vacation to the DAO and say hi and welcome back. Good to see you again.
Another topic to the DAO call will be the one thread started by Nanko on Discord, which will be the Zignally and Grape collab.
Mm-hmm.
As Nanko is not here as well, we can skip this as well for now. And as you mentioned, the Grape Realms proposals, we have like 3 of them on
Yep.
being voted. I mean, 2 of them. One is just for council tokens holders.
Right. One of them has to do. Well, I think it's important that we just reference what that is and make sure that whoever created it and had an idea of what they wanted to do with the council token can explain a little bit better, because some of us may be familiar with the features. But so the 3 proposals in place right now are sticking an NFT to the syndicate, which I believe is just routine, but good to check the instructions. Then there's another one that is funding the DAO with 50K USDC so that it can be used for any purpose that the DAO sees fit. And then there's a council vote currently in place to change the token type of the council token to a membership-based token, not a liquid token, which gives certain controls and rights to be able to retrieve or relinquish or do certain things with the council token. However, the method in which that would be decided and voted for would be interesting to confirm and make sure that nothing breaks, since it's a new feature that I'm not sure if it's been tested properly before. And that, thus, I have not voted on either of those proposals yet until I heard something on today's call. Unfortunately, it was created in a way that it overlaps with today's call, so there's time to be able to talk about it before casting a vote, even though they passed, which is interesting. You know, the one proposal has 10 people voting, or 10 wallets, I should say, and passed, and the other one has 2, which might have to do with quorum, and it might be good for us to evaluate that. But anyway, those are the topics.
But V2 isn't that a council token proposal?
Correct. And I think it's important that we're aware of what that means and what that suggests for the usage of the council token, because that was a broad topic of conversation. And there's now going to be a feature change to the council token that may give the DAO certain controls and rights, but we haven't distributed the grape yet. So I don't know if the community will have more control over what happens with council tokens, which kind of defeats the purpose. But I'd welcome anybody who is familiar with those proposals that created them to come up and speak about them, if possible, to give us some more context and color. I also
I'm on the same boat as you. I don't understand why the token should be revocable, because the idea, to my knowledge, was that it is an administrative token, so like a failsafe.
Right. That was my understanding as well. So it feels counterintuitive to everything that we discussed on the last call,
Yes.
which is kind of why I wanted to talk about it and make sure that we were all clear on it. But then again, you know, this is, I guess, the caveat or the exact example that I was concerned about is something happening where we have no discussion about it and something goes forward, and the same thing could happen with a community vote, the way that we're talking about it. And I don't have answers to how to protect the DAO in those particular instances. If they were malicious, that is. But changing things for the sake of changing things without visibility is interesting. And then I also see Potrock. I don't know if we want to open up the discussion on reputation again, or if we want to level set or recap on any of the legacy projects. And then there's the bounty call that happened before this call and tasks. But
aside from the topics on hand, I suggested before, and we still have the Sagaphone talk, which is still not finished, and we need a conclusion to that, and how it's distributed, how it's done. I mean, we had a brief conclusion on last Sunday call, but as 1 week passed, we're still hanging on it, let's say.
Yeah, regarding the proposals, I linked the proposal to refill the community controlled treasury. I also posted on Discourse. Hey, and Tarky's here. Awesome. Maybe you can share a few words. I wanted to ask whether this is really what we intend to do, because I was under the impression that the community already controls basically the whole treasury, and the council holders just there are certain wallets that aren't accessible directly through anyone who has 200K, which would be like a security measure, and I at least approve of this step. Or I think it's important to have something like that, but we wouldn't be asking the community to refill a treasury wallet in order to be operational, right? So it's more a security issue that not every or all funds are accessible directly through anyone who can create a proposal. But then again, if the community wallet that we use for operational uses is empty, it needs to be refilled, no questions asked. My question would be whether we want to have a threshold or a limit or something like that. Because I frankly don't understand why we have this proposal on chain.
Hey guys. So for the reason for this proposal is that we cannot do anything unless we have any funds. If we need any funds, I mean, for example, we want to some of us wanted to ask to go to a hacker house, or another Grape member might want to go to the hacker house. There are no funds at the moment in the community-owned treasury that allow us to do any kind of movements or on-chain votes, which means
I get why we want, or what you did there, but we actually never talked about the process, how to refill the community quote unquote wallet. So like for me, it's more an issue that like the DAO could say to a council token holder, to the council token holders, to refill it, but it doesn't need to be something like a community vote to do it, because all funds are essentially community controlled, right?
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to fill in the blanks in the live chat and trying to understand what are we discussing. Why did they put this proposal on chain which is basically a sentiment vote? Is that the question?
No, for me, it would be more reasonable to have a vote regarding criteria when the wallet should be refilled. Like, is there a threshold? Is there a limit? Right?
But then again, this is another type of sentiment vote, correct?
I don't get it, because if, let's say, the vote fails, what does it say? Like, the community doesn't want to have operational access to the funds that the community already controls? I don't get it.
It doesn't control. That's the thing. It doesn't. The community does not control this particular DAO wallet. It's controlled by the council token holders. So if that vote fails, it means that the community doesn't think that we should be having funds in the community-owned wallet, or doesn't think that we should be instructing the council token holders to refill that treasury.
But
the community-owned one, I mean.
But for me, it was more of a security measure to not have all funds in one wallet that is accessible through like anyone who has 200K Grape, right?
Yeah, but the proposal I put up didn't ask for the whole funds of the DAO to be put in the community-owned treasury that's open to an attack from anyone that holds 200K Grape.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically that the reason that we need some kind of operational expenses and access to some funds, not the entirety of funds. I totally agree there that we don't need to have all the funds available to this attack vector at all times,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
we need to have some kind of
I
funds
get that,
available.
but it's like the equivalent of asking the bouncer that you can enter the club that you're owning. It's like, why are you doing it? It's more like making the rule that the bouncer recognizes you, that you're the owner, and lets you through. It's like, I don't get it.
That's a great example, Pause. I would be so pissed
Okay,
off.
let me ask you a more practical. It's like the night at Roxbury. So let me ask you a practical application of this. I want to make a proposal in the next 2 weeks for a
Yes.
continuation of whatever I have been doing for the past month or so.
Yes.
What would be the proper approach to this? It would be to send a Discord message to the council token holders and ask them personally to refill the treasury, or have a vote from the whole community and DAO and
I get
holders.
what you're saying. That's what I meant by we never like fleshed out the process of how we want to refill it. For me, it would totally suffice that you like make a Discord message in our DAO chat and ask the council token holders to refill the wallet to a level we already had in it, like a max. So because this obviously was something the DAO felt comfortable with. So and then they only transfer the funds and it's done. Like we don't need to have a realms vote on it. And if anyone has an issue with it, then we need to talk a little bit more about what's the issue about and how we can like fix it. And I would have also understood if you had made a proposal more in lines of defining the process. So like voting for a suggestion that says like whenever the community wallet falls below 10K, we fill it up to 50K. Yes or no? Or should we have different limits and thresholds? That would have made sense for me. But to ask anytime you want to have funds that you already theoretically control have moved doesn't make sense. It's operationally just overhead. Do you get what I
To
mean?
be honest, I get it. But to be honest, I think it's a situation of tomato. So in my viewpoint, I think it's best to have the whole community sentiment that we are okay with funds being refilled in that treasury, instead of asking the council token holders and then afterwards, we might have a Bocho Waggins situation that someone says, "Oh, why did you refill the treasury without asking me 2 months ago?" So if it's on chain, in my viewpoint, always, I think it's there's no room for misinterpretation for this, because I can surely ask in a Discord or in a DM or something, but I think the most vocal way and the most representative way for the whole community is without permission. You put up a vote, since you have the ability to put this on chain vote, and the community expresses their opinion through this vote.
I get it. Again, for me, the council token holders are like an added security measure and not something that should impede us doing stuff. Like, and again, we never defined the process, and it's more like if you ask a council token holder or the council token holders to fill up the one wallet that is controllable with like 10K is something different than with every USDC that we've got. Like,
Yeah.
it's.
I think what you're trying to say is that you don't want the DAO to be operationally dependent on the council token holders, but they should only be dependent upon in an emergency.
Yeah.
And additionally, if it is not, if we must rely on the council token holders on operational manner, then we should clearly define how we are relying on them.
Yeah, we make it like if you're doing it like that, we're making it way harder to operate. And it is, for me, it's not necessary. It's more like there is someone who is like not approving, but looking specifically at what you're requesting or what you want to try to do. Like it's a red flag if someone requests from the council token holders to move all funds. They should probably ask the DAO whether this is something the DAO wants to do. But if it's something regarding staying operational, then there shouldn't be like an on-chain vote in my mind, because it's like an added security layer and not something that should fail. Again, we already control the funds, or the DAO should be able to control the funds and not to make an on-chain vote in order to ask whether this is still the case. Like, oh, I need to catch up with the live chat.
Yeah, like you said, in theory, the DAO is already controlling these funds, but
Exactly.
that is not the on-chain reality. Let's call it this way.
Sure. And I would argue, just to add to the point of that, writer, is that a proposal can be put up to equally make a vote like this, and a certain amount of Grape can judge whether or not the amount of USDC that's sitting in that community-controlled wallet should be released or not.
Yes, I
Then
wanted
again,
to also
because
to
we can
explain
conflict.
that line of thinking. And I was thinking about why shouldn't we just transfer all the USD to the realms? And the only thing I can come up with is that it would make a hostile DAO takeover more attractive.
It definitely would, and I think that if you look at the amounts that you would require in order to attack a wallet that at a community level, it would be beneficial for somebody to do that in that type of scenario and setting. Then again, on the council side, you could have an individual that does things that are rogue. If there was any potential indication of that happening, but that's a lower likelihood because there's a vested interest in those people helping the community and controlling and making sure that there's a protection mechanism from the DAO funds being utilized in any way that is not conducive or supportive of the DAO. Right? If somebody maliciously wants to acquire enough Grape to come and pass a proposal by themselves, it might be financially satisfactory to them to do that in the current setting and the amount that we're talking about. I think that's the only reason that this matters. I think once the Grape is distributed and enough people have voting power where it's distributed across the DAO members, this conversation becomes less pertinent. That's really my point.
I think the most simple solution for right now to have it a bit clearer defined is we say, okay, we want to have a maximum of X amount USDC in our community wallet for the foreseeable future, and council token holders, please refill our community wallet if it reaches a point below, I don't know, 10K or whatever. And this would be a very simple, like 3-line
and
documentation agreement. Come again?
Yep.
Yeah, and
within a certain time period. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, and that would have made sense to me. That's what I said basically. Like if we agreed on a threshold and or a limit, then I can see us having an on-chain vote regarding this if the community approves. It's basically setting the security measures in place, and it's not up to the council token holders to like look at the treasury and be aware whenever it drops below a threshold or something like that. But every DAO member then can say, okay, we agreed on this, and that, and can ping someone who is council token holder to make the necessary steps. That would have made sense, but to like allocate 50K or 10K or whatever each time doesn't make sense for me. That's what I'm saying.
To be clear, the DAO has access to the funds, always. And that should always be the premise. I think the only challenge is when the multi-sig approach of getting and relinquishing the funds comes into play, we have different dynamics in the two different token types that we're talking about. It's the only real reason that it matters. If the DAO said that they wanted funds for something, I'm totally behind it. I have not voted on this proposal yet because I wanted to discuss it further before submitting my vote. But, you know, I would vote against it just because I don't understand why the certain amount. Then Kentucky just came up and said very clearly this is for things like hacker houses and stuff like that, which I think, you know, is conducive. We should be supporting people that want to be active in Solana and do what they need to do as a DAO. That's my opinion to the DAO, right? And for anything that the DAO decides that it wants to use. If it wants to, you know, reward phones to people, that's fine too. But that's one proposal I disagree with in general, right? I don't like the sack of funds, but if the DAO decides to use the funds, the DAO decides to use the funds.
Exactly.
If they come to the council token holders to have funds,
exactly,
the council is obligated to
matter.
give the DAO the fund, right?
Okay, I still thank you for doing the proposal, Taki, because it's important that we like talk about those things since we didn't have some process in place.
He left the stage.
Oh.
I hope he is well.
No, I'm fine. I accidentally hit update to my Discord client and I got kicked off. I'm here. You're welcome, CryptoPod. Yeah. But again, guys, we're talking about theoretically, and of course, theoretically, the community owns these funds and so on and so forth. But practically, this is an extra step that we need to take with, asking the council token holders. And like I said, in my viewpoint, it's best to do this in the most transparent and most on-chain way, so that there are no disputes either before, during, or after that decision or action. Because, for example, when I was trying to put my proposal back in during the holidays, I realized that there are not enough funds for the proposal I intended to do for a quarter, which was for 3 months. So instead of trying to get a hold of anybody during the holidays or whatever, time out of the day you want, for example, I decided to reduce the duration of my intended proposal. This is one block that I encountered as a DAO member, that I wanted to propose something, but I hadn't asked from the council token holders. And even if I did, what would have I asked? Like,
yeah, I get.
Guys, please put some funds in just in case my proposal passes. That's not very.
I get what you mean, Taki, and I see your reasoning there. Still, if you want to have security, there's always a cost. And like with traditional banking, you can't come to a bank and say, I want to have 1 million from my account. This is not how things are done, and there's always a reason, and mostly good reasons for doing it in a specific way. So like, it's not about what you want to achieve or what you want to do with a proposal. I think we need to talk about what are the limits or what are the funds that we are willing to risk. So if we make this decision and we say like we want to have 50K exposed to this risk, then this is a DAO made decision and we agree on it. Then anyone who wants to make an on-chain proposal that requires more than 50K has an issue. And then we need to renegotiate or rethink the idea of whether we want to risk more. But in a case where we had a process, and like Archimedes and Ryder both said, and I said it as well, if we had a process where we said, okay, we want to top up the DAO directly controlled wallet with up to 50K, then you could have said, okay, you could have pinged any council token holder and say, I saw that I wanted to make a proposal. The funds don't. I need more funds, like up to the 50K. Please top it up, and then they would have hopefully done the transaction. But it's not about or whether there is a problem with not being able to spend all the funds that a proposal requires. It's about, do we want to have an added security layer? Yes or no? And then we need to talk about the amount that we want to risk, right? I don't want to mix those things.
How do we decide this kind of process? What needs to be done so that we have no ambiguity next time?
Yeah, like I mentioned, we can make a proposal that says, okay, the DAO approves the council token holders to top up wallet XYZ up to X amount. Done.
Is that proactively, so the council token holders have an extra responsibility that they need to be tending to?
No. They already have a responsibility. Basically, if we want to have this additional security layer, like it is right now. So, but it's not up to them to like watch the wallet and top it up. It's about everyone being able to ping a council token holder and say, hey, the wallet dropped below a certain threshold, or we need more funds, and we agreed on like 50K or 60K or whatever. Please top it up. And then they can take action. Right?
Yeah, it is about having a public agreement, and by that easing operations and making it more simple. In the specific example of yourself during the holidays, if we had this agreement during the holidays, you could have pinged all the council token holders, and if even one would have seen the message, he could have acted directly without a discussion. If I understood it correctly. That's my understanding.
Yeah, right. And of course, there needs still to be like the voting process by the council token holders, yes. But again, that's like the security measure that we then chose. And it's similar to not being able to go to the bank and request 1 million without first calling them or giving them a heads up, because they don't have 1 million at hand with good reason to not get robbed. So I get where you're coming from there, Taki, and I think the idea of basically asking to have permission and having something on chains to point to, that's exactly the right way to do it. I'm just saying that we could like make a general decision on it, make it an on-chain vote, and everyone can point at that and say, okay, we need to top up the wallets.
Yeah, the same way we have squads for bounty funds, and the same way we have squads for other things like the agility that used to exist. I think it makes sense to just have something similar, where we agree on what the threshold is, and anything that exceeds it is topic of conversation for the DAO to evaluate and confirm. That's it. I think that makes sense, in my opinion. If other people in the community disagree, I'm listening in the audience. Glad to hear your counter. We're on stage. Sorry.
Maybe we could have a sentiment poll in the live chat about specific numbers like 50k max and 10k threshold to fill up or something like that.
Yeah. Or 20k, just to meet halfway, right? 25k, half of whatever currently seems like a viable amount for month over month or 2 months or 3 months. Fine. I think that makes sense. It's just about making sure that the funds are not accessible to the point that you can acquire more grape than is in that treasury wallet to be able to acquire the funds in that wallet. And if you do an analysis, it's highly likely that it would be profitable for somebody to take the amount that's being requested right now.
Yeah, but the way you phrase it right now, it's
I know.
basically makes me want to check what amount would be profitable.
Yeah. Anyway, the point is that you're right. Let's set the threshold on how much we think makes sense, and then just move forward that way, so that we don't have to have this recurring conversation that stops us having the DAO be able to do what it needs to do and to move forward, because we want the DAO to have what they need to be able to move forward. We want Daiki to be able to make a proposal and things that, or anybody in the DAO that's a DAO member, to be able to do that. But there are reasonable limits, and I think security is the top of mind in this discussion. Once the grape is distributed, I think these conversations are going to become very different.
We have too many poll bots on our server. We have 3 different poll bots.
Should we move on in the meantime until the poll that decides the number for which the council token holders will need to be pinged to refill the treasury? And then perhaps it's a good idea to add this in our documentation as well, so there are no doubts or second thoughts on what's the proper process for this.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I'm almost finished. What options do we want? I heard 25, I heard 10. What options are we thinking?
It's a sentiment poll. Just do a bunch of different values, and let's see. It still needs to be an on-chain proposal. So
yes, okay. Then I will just go 10, 20, 30. Open for everybody or only DAO member? Okay, could be DAO member. Okay, here's the anonymous poll. I've set up a few different options, 10, 25, 50, and 75K. So there's also one rather high option and one option which is exactly what was proposed to fill up.
Is Nanko around?
I see Nanko. I see Nanko sending memes. Yo, he said in the live chat. Yo.
Come up on stage. Let's hear about your Signally proposal.
I'm gonna jump off.
Hello, boys.
Hello.
Can you guys hear me? Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
What do you think?
I think yes. Now I think you guys can hear me. Anyways, how are you guys? Okay, so the proposal on Signally, I think I've written pretty much everything. I just had an idea after writing one more thing that we could even, which I discussed with the team, and we could even pay, upfront to the traders who join Signally through Grape. We could have a small sum, the sign up bonus kind of a thing. That can also be done. Then I was thinking that instead of giving the traders those sign up bonus, we can also distribute that to the Grape treasury. Because at the end of the day, it's the DAO that is acting as the foundation for this onboarding process. So I just would, if you guys have any questions, I'm willing to answer. If you guys have any other alternate proposal, please feel free. I'm here. If you guys have any shit to say, I'm here.
Can I ask something? Is Signally similar to Solrise in terms of how you create a fund and you can be either an investor or a fund manager?
Yeah. It's kind of the same situation, but it's not fully decentralized right now. It's more like right now we are basically taking API from Binance, and so basically the pairs that you trade are only those that are listed in Binance. But that is for a temporary period, because by the end of this year we plan to go completely decentralized with our not just the coin market. Once we go decentralized, you can also trade NFTs. So we are trying to come up with the idea of how to differentiate the two and use the same process, because our new product, which is called the Profit Sharing 2.0, it is releasing day after tomorrow on Tuesday. that kind of covers up 60 to 70% from a developer's point of view of what we are going to do with PS3, which is the decentralized version of this whole scenario. And once that is released, we'll get rid of the centralized system altogether, and it'll just be Signally will then be completely decentralized, and it will be run by a DAO. So the one of the good aspects of a partnership in my head was, with Grape, I think it would come a point when Signally would require Grape's expertise on, uh, making the DAO or converting Signally into a DAO, something of that sort. But that's like for later times. I'm not here to pitch that.
So right now, what the Grape DAO should do is like what, have a referral and kind of promoting people to use Signally through the Grape Community, and whoever registers through our referral, the DAO gets a bonus.
DAO gets a sign up bonus. That can be one thing, yes. And after that, anything that basically there are two revenue streams for Signally. One is the commission that any trader that trades. For example, you are an expert trader on the Signally platform with a service, and five of us are following you. So every time you open a trade and are managing our funds as well in that service, all six traders will basically pay a commission, you know, because not just you, but the whole service will be paying a certain percentage of commission, which is exactly what Binance does. Binance charges. So Binance gives us a discount that is Signally's earning. So we give a percentage out of that to the affiliate or the referral as well, uh, and that is for lifetime. So, for example, if Taki joins in using the referral link of Grape, uh, anytime Taki's money is used in Signally in any way by the fund manager or by Taki himself, Grape will be given a certain percentage of the commission fees that Signally earns. That can, I think proposed 10% or 20%. It can be looked at as well, depending on the kind of, you know, impact Grape has on the onboarding process. The second revenue stream is success fee. So basically, the Signally system is built such that if the traders they don't make money, the whole protocol doesn't make money, the whole system doesn't make money, nobody makes money. So and that makes it even challenging for a trader to actually come on board and be listed as a trader. So it has a prerequisites that you have to follow, and then you get onboarded. But once you make, let's say, again, I'll give your example. If you have a service there, and you are charging 30% of the profits that you make for your followers, you say that you will be given 30%. So 25 will be given to you, and 5% will be paid by the investors and not you to the Signally. So that's their second revenue stream. And for the referrals, we give a percentage of that 5% as well to the whoever is the referee here. That's the basic uh, economic model for Signally, and that's how we are trying to onboard traders and users through different DAOs and through different communities. And just to clear one thing out, this is the first proposal on a DAO by Signally. So if Grapes, happens, it'll be a benchmark. If it doesn't happen, we'll move on to other DAOs looking for different ideas. And what Grape can do is Grape can also, link us with other Solana communities as well, and Grape can earn through that as well. Like they could use a Grape link to onboard people, and Grape would earn through that as well. I'm just like thinking on the top of my head now.
As far as technicalities, Signally is native where? I mean, you connect your wallet, or is it like an exchange when you
It's
use it
like
for
an
your
exchange.
yeah.
It's like an exchange. You'll sign up, you'll do a little bit of KYC, but we are registered in Singapore. Uh, so I don't think, and because of the referral link, I don't think there is any major legality involved in this whole process. Yeah, each customer, and the KYC is also basically what is going on is we have a sub account with Binance, and all the money goes into Binance. So the custodian would be Binance, not Signally, of anybody, uh, you know, putting their money with Signally. The money actually is rerouted to Binance, where Signally has their sub account, and the money is placed there.
So how would GrapeDAO be able to get these funds? Needs to have a representative that has done KYC at the Binance account.
No, no. See, Grape will earn through the referral link, right? So with the referral link, we'll put up the wallet address of Grape on the side, and every time the earning is done through the referral link, the money will be sent. USDT will be sent to. Uh, it's usually USDT because that's the coin that everybody uses to trade on Signally, and because major pairs on Binance are USDT backed, so USDT will be sent to the Grape address however they want, and since Solana offers USDT, so I think it can easily be managed. Okay,
For me personally, I think that's an interesting idea. I'm just interested what the next steps should be
I can,
and who should.
I can arrange a call with my team. A few of the members can attend that, see the whole idea, discuss it, come back to us, discuss it with us, uh, and we can take it from there. Somebody has like if we have to go through it, somebody has to put an on-chain vote for this, and I don't think I can, so somebody else will. So I would rather have, instead of me representing both at the same time, because there's a conflict of interest right there, I would just like to be the middleman for communications rather than taking this thing forward. I don't see a downside on it for Grape, at least, and for Signary for that matter, because it's a reference program, and it's something that can give you earnings for your treasury for for a lifetime. Because let's say if Grape onboards 100 people, not all 100 are going to stay there forever. Maybe at the end of the day, it's 5% or 10% people who actually stay there, and then whenever they trade or whenever they earn their success fee, they can pay the the Grape treasury keeps earning. So this is just an extra revenue stream for Grape as well. I don't see a downside on it, to be very honest. And Grape is not directly involved as a DAO. Like anybody joining Signally through Grape, he's joining Signally. He's using his own funds on Signally. He's not doing it. He has nothing to do with Grape anymore. He's just used that link. So and if- now if you want me to pitch why Signally, why people should onboard Signally, that's another topic, because if people are earning good returns over there, that is something that can be marketed in on the onboarding process rather than me marketing it to you that Grape should combine or partner with Signally because everybody is going to earn and all that crap. No, you know Grape is going to earn, The rest is on the individual that actually onboards Signally.
Certainly, I'm down exploring this angle. It just needs to be clear that someone is going to spearheading this and take care of this situation. And let's explore whether we want to do any kind of if these things go through any kind of live event or Twitter space or something like that. But like Paul said, we need to be very careful in what we want to communicate by
See,
starting offering a referral.
this could be one of those things that later on Signally can always be marketing Grape because of this partnership, and Grape can also market Signally through Twitter Spaces, through different, uh, on the top of my head, Wales could invite the Signally founders to his stream, and something of that sort. We can think over it. I think that's the secondary part of this whole process. The first part is to get into the referral program, so that at least the revenue starts happening for Grape, and Signally gets his traders, because the reason is uh, I've noticed mostly everybody here is exploring the ecosystem in general, like outside Solana as well, and I do see potential on Signally. The kind of traders we have onboarded, they are showing us good results. So I don't see a reason why one shouldn't try it out. It's a good passive income on the side. I've been doing it personally myself, and before joining Signally, I was using Signally as a social trading platform. But at that time, the product was completely different. It was a simple copy trading system. So you know that is now going to change, and we are also offering a system which is very good for traders in a way that you can connect any trading platform right now which uses APIs, and you can trade through that platform, and Signally will do the accounting for the individual. But we are also in talks with, okay, now this is something that I'm not confirming, or I'm not saying that it is going to happen, but we are in talks with MetaTrader. So if that happens, I think that's going to open up a whole new uh, area for the trading platforms that can be used with Signally. So, MetaTrader and any CFD broker software can be used with Signally as well. So that kind of changes the whole game. And right now, I think we have AUMs of over $100 million on the platform. So any good trader is getting a lot of traction. Like he can easily get $1 to $2 million following him. And so even if he's making a 10% return on a 2 million portfolio, that's $200,000. Most of the users, I think, have an average uh, account size of $1,500 in different exchanges and in different trading platforms in that way. So, uh, I'll give you my example. I started off with $150, and at the peak, I was being followed by $98,000. So every trade that I was doing, I was taking my capital out of the system. So I think it's worth checking out. It's worth getting into a call and then discussing over the DAO on how we are going to, take this process forward, who is going to take in charge, and all that nitty gritty about it. Okay, I saw
I say
Crypto Paul.
let's
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Please, no, please.
Go ahead,
Please
go ahead, go
continue.
ahead, go
I
ahead, go
was
ahead,
going
go
to
ahead.
comment on CryptoPaw's message. For me, it's not clear if anything is expected of Grape. I don't think there is. I don't think there is anything expected of Grape to, go out of the way to market or sell this particular idea. Uh, Grape should have, uh, you know, we can open a new channel on the Discord, which, like for example, how to become a DAO member. There are instructions on a particular channel. We can give the same instructions on another channel, and that's about it. Whoever is exploring the Discord can get into that, and the link is available there. If he uses the link to sign up on Signally, uh, he's on, and Grape starts making revenue. So that kind of a thing. Yeah, I won't say that there is anything particular required of Grape in this. We can always communicate with each other, the two different parties, the Grape DAO and Signally, to in future hold marketing events or giveaways or whatever you want to call it. Like we also have a NFT product called Zigbids. So what we can do is on call Alex uh, uh, on a Twitter space done by Zigbids, and Alex can talk there. It's just those kind of things rather than expecting anything out of Grape. There is no development involved in all of this. There is no, that kind of a thing has been shredded out. What's the next topic? I haven't read the agenda for today.
We pretty much touched everything. We talked about the realm proposal and every topic inside of them. We talked about your proposal just now. We had an upcoming DAO introduction to a prospect, which he's not on the stage and not in the audience, so we can't really call him. So we gotta skip him for the next DAO call. And that's pretty summed up. The stage is up for grabs for any DAO member to talk about. But yeah, one of the topic will be, as Archimedes said, about the Saga phones, but not sure if there's any initiative right now. I guess pretty much all the Saga phone topics it's talked in the live chat and the previous DAO call and on Discord, so all the DAO members are free to decide what to do and introduce also new ideas to distribute the Saga phones if needed. And that's it, I think. There's no more topics to talk about. At least in the that's up for everyone to view at least. I mean, we touch every topic till now, so I am assuming we can finish this DAO call. We already hit the 1 hour mark. Let's wait for Taki if he wants to introduce any new topic on the table. If not, we can end this DAO call and... Okay, Taki's here. Yes, Taki said there's no more... nothing from our side to bring up. Any DAO member is free to come on stage and talk about something new or want to introduce something as Nanko did. Anything else is left for the next DAO call. Alright, if if nothing appears now, we can just say goodbye to everyone and have a rest of a good Sunday. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, I will share the poll results on the DAO channel.
Okay, thank you. As always, for people who didn't attend or want to review this DAO call, will be on the YouTube channel in case someone wants to review it again. And the summary of the DAO call will be in the DAO proposals under a DAO call summary. Do you want me to end the rider? The poll?
I just ended the poll.
Okay.
Well,
Are you taking a screenshot to put on the DAO channel?
yeah,
Okay.
not a screenshot, but a simple link. Done. Have a great Sunday.
Have a great Sunday. Bye bye everyone.
Bye bye.